Chapter 41. Max ran his hands over his hair as he made his way back to the laboratories. Hopefully Celeste would be able to find the location of the disc, but if it was hidden in Justin's ridge, it could be days before he could get his hands on it. He growled through his nose. Nothing was going right since he got back from that stupid town. For 7 years he had been searching for the fox kit, all the while planning how he would unlock the secrets hidden in her fur. The blood and enzyme tests as well as DNA mapping were all underway, and he had set up a series of physicals, x-rays, and CAT scans for her. Every chemical Mac could think of would be injected into her in order to document how she reacted to each one. Every part of her, inside and out, was to be measured, categorized, and catalogued. But there was a hitch. She had not yet woken up from the stun he had given her 10 days ago, which meant all the plans he had for her were at a standstill. "I've got to figure this out," Max muttered as he marched down the hall. "Talking to yourself again?" Jordan fell into step beside Max. "What do you need, Jordan?" Jordan handed him a tablet. "Sign." Max did so. "You could have left it with Celeste, you know. She would have put it in with all the other things I need to sign. She even has the authority to sign minor documents herself." Jordan grunted through his nose. "Problem?" "Hit Celeste." "Oh," Max let it roll off his back. "I know you don't like her, Jordan, but you don't have to like her to work with her." "That's not my problem." "Then what is?" "You are!" Jordan pulled Max to a stop. "You're giving her too much power. First she cleaned her office, and that was fine. But now she has the authority to make decisions in your place, signing your documents?" Max continued down the hall, forcing Jordan to keep up with him. "You, Janae, and Tess all have the same authority in different capacities. There is a big difference between her and us." "What's that?" "She's a glorified slave girl. She doesn't know anything, and she's too hard to read. I can never tell what she's thinking. You shouldn't be putting so much in her hands." Max halted. "Are you telling me how to do my job?" Jordan stiffened. "No, but the way you're coddling her makes me think you're grooming her for phase 2. "I was considering it." "We're using Janae." "We were," Max said, "and now we might not." "What is wrong with you?" Jordan stared at Max as if he had a green antenna shooting out of his hair. "Ever since she came, you've been going off your nuts. This is something you should have discussed with me. I'm your second in command. I care as much about the success of phase 2 as you do." "I don't have anything to discuss with you, Jordan." Max narrowed his eyes. "And no one could care more about the success of phase 2 than me." "But why would you make such a critical change when we're so close? Janae knows exactly what to do. She's ready." "Janae is not... She's not..." Max gestured with his hands. "I'm not sure what she's not, but whatever she lacks, Celeste has. People trust her for no apparent reason, which is what I need." "You're going to regret this decision to trust her, Max." "We'll see." "Max! Max, I got it!" Celeste sprinted down the hall, accompanied by the pock-pock of her heels. "I have the disc!" "That was quick," Max said. "It turns out she had it in her purse." Celeste looked at the disc in her hands. "Truth behind the legends. Is that it?" "That's the one." Max took it from her. "You have no idea what I've been through to get my hands on this." "A book of fairy tales?" Jordan crossed his arms. "I would have had it sooner, but I let her finish reading the story she was on." Celeste held her hands behind her back. "It was the one about silver foxes." Max noted her eyes never left his face. She was fishing for something. But before Max could address it, Jordan burst out. "Silver foxes? That tears it. Max, you have to stop." "Stop what?" Max turned his attention to Jordan. He could deal with Celeste at his leisure. "This obsession you have with gray-furred foxes." "Obsession?" Celeste's ears stood on end. Max chuckled. "I do not have an obsession." "Oh, yeah?" Jordan's tail flicked his legs. "What about the name you chose for this organization? GFG? Gray Fox Group?" "I chose it because gray foxes are rare and unique, an anomaly among their normal counterparts, as is this company." Jordan raised an eyebrow. "Then what about Celeste?" "What about Celeste?" Max said, acutely aware Celeste was watching this exchange. "She came to me, and I don't care one lick about her fur. I hold her to the same standard as anyone else. Don't I, Celeste?" Celeste nodded. "Then what about the rumors?" Jordan raised his nose into the air. "They say you think you have a silver fox in your laboratories. It's the reason you're always down there lately." "Really?" Max pressed his lips together. Someone in the laboratory had a big mouth. People are going to think you're crazy, Jordan said, and when Max didn't respond, added, they'll stop following you. People will keep following me as long as I give them what they think they need, Max glared at Jordan. And I'd appreciate you squelching rumors instead of taking them seriously. Now, don't you have a job to do? Yeah, I do. Jordan turned away from them. He shot a glare at Celeste as he marched down the hall. Celeste hung around after he had left, absently stroking her fur. Max rolled his eyes. He didn't feel like dealing with her at the moment. Something you want, Celeste? Well, no. Then I suggest you get back to work. Max continued his trek towards the laboratory. Do you? Celeste called after him. Max stopped. Do I what? Celeste trotted over to him. She looked up the hall, then down it before whispering, Do you think you have a silver fox in there? A heavy sigh tore out of him. He didn't want to have this conversation with her. Not yet. But if he didn't squash her curiosity now, it could grow out of control before he was ready to use her. And if he had to get rid of her, all this work grooming her would be down the drain, and she was working out so well. Because it would make sense if you did, Celeste said before he could make up his mind. How do you figure? It would explain why you went through such lengths to get Xena. Celeste ran her hands over her fur. You didn't give two kicks about my fur, but as soon as you saw hers, you went crazy for it. And it would make sense why she's down there. It's where you're keeping her, isn't it? Max nodded. Celeste glanced in the direction of the laboratories, her ears falling. I take it you don't approve? I know what it's like to only be valued because of your fur. Celeste gripped her arms close to her body. It's not pleasant. I feel for her. Max bit his bottom lip. This seemed like a critical turning point. Should he take a chance on her? Celeste. Max took a step closer to her. If silver foxes existed, and if I found one, don't you think it would be my duty to extract all of her fur's secrets? Secrets? Celeste turned her big green eyes to Max. According to the stories, silver foxes had the ability to manipulate electricity, magnetics, and in some stories they could fly. If they do exist, why should those powers be reserved for this select few? Why should they get to keep it to themselves? Why can't we all benefit? Max turned to Celeste with his biggest smile on his face. I've been trying to develop bioelectrical technologies for years. Yes, based on the Silver Fox legends. Imagine a world where you didn't have to physically interact with a machine. All you had to do was think about a task and it would be done. It would revolutionize the security industry. It could have military applications, devices keeping you and your freedom safe. Max took a moment to study Celeste to see if she was following his vision. Judging by the way her eyes sparkled and the wide smile on her face, he was painting the right picture. I'm not holding on to the girl to have her on display. Max raised his hands to the ceiling. It is my duty to do what it takes to benefit the world, and that vixen is the key to it. Oh, wow. Celeste raised her eyes to the ceiling. Max could almost see the idealistic utopian world she was generating in her mind. Time to bring it crashing down. Of course, if you're against that sort of thing, Max turned his back on her. I'll have to let you go. No! Celeste blurted at the top of her lungs. She clutched his arms. I don't want to go. Don't send me away. Max smiled. That had been easier than he thought it would be. So you're on board? Celeste nodded. But you don't believe the girl is a silver fox? Celeste studied the floor a moment. I believe you think she is. All right, then. Max headed down the hall. Meet me tomorrow morning at 8:30. You can decide for yourself. Until then, back to work. Yes, Max. Oh, and Celeste? Celeste turned to look at him. This is classified. No one is to know what I told you. Max gave her a smile. Not even Jordan. A smile spread over Celeste's face. She nodded before turning to skip down the hall. Max grinned at her retreating form. He didn't know what Jordan had been talking about. Celeste was all too easy to read.